Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. There's a reason why the smallest moments often leave the deepest impressions. Amidst the spotlight, grand choreography, and large-scale productions of K-pop, BTS fans are often struck by something almost accidental. A fleeting glance, a smile that appears without warning, or a simple gesture that lasts only a few seconds. One such moment became a hot topic among ARMYs when fans noticed a small detail. Jungkook was seen capturing Jimin in a very subtle, calm, and sweet moment. There was no big announcement. No professional cameras were deliberately aimed to create a particular narrative. On the contrary, the moment felt so natural, as if it happened without planning. Jungkook, phone in hand, seemed focused on the one figure in front of him, Jimin, who wasn't doing anything spectacular at the time. There were no dramatic poses, no exaggerated expressions. Just Jimin being himself, and Jungkook choosing to capture that moment. To some, this might seem trivial, but for fans who have followed BTS for years, details like this speak volumes. Jungkook is known for being spontaneous, honest with his reactions, and not trying too hard to hide his feelings. When he chooses to film someone, especially in a casual, unprofessional setting, it feels personal. And when the person being filmed is Jimin, fans begin to connect the dots they've long noticed. What makes this moment even more tender is Jungkook's approach. There's no sense of intrusion or attention grabbing. His phone camera isn't pointed in a conspicuous way. He doesn't ask Jimin to look at the camera, doesn't give instructions, doesn't create an artificial interaction. Jungkook simply films, as if he wants to preserve the moment as it is. This attitude suggests that the moment is meant for himself, not for public consumption. Jimin, on the other hand, seems completely immersed in the moment. He doesn't realize, or perhaps doesn't even care, that Jungkook is filming him. This is precisely what makes the scene feel so genuine. There's no camera awareness that often alters a person's demeanor. Jimin remains himself, gentle, calm, and completely present. For fans, this combination created an atmosphere that was difficult to describe in words, yet easy to feel. The ARMY's reaction was swift. Across various platforms, fans began discussing this small detail with warmth. Many called it a perfect example of a relationship that didn't need to be announced or exaggerated. A connection that was felt through a simple action. Jungkook didn't say anything, but his gesture was enough to make many smile. Interestingly, this wasn't the first time Jungkook had been seen pointing his camera at Jimin in a casual context. Fans had captured similar moments on numerous occasions before, whether in vlogs, behind-the-scenes footage, or brief footage that appeared without much context. This pattern further convinced fans that there was emotional consistency behind these small actions. It wasn't something that appeared once and then disappeared, but rather a habit that had formed naturally. In fandom culture, especially among BTS fans, moments like this are often discussed with great caution. Many fans are aware of the line between interpretation and reality. Interestingly, however, the discussion surrounding Jungkook filming Jimin tends not to focus on excessive speculation. Instead, the conversation revolves more around the warmth it evokes, the beauty of human connection expressed through small gestures. There's something universal about this scene. Anyone who has ever felt the urge to preserve a memory of someone they care about can relate to Jungkook's impulse. Sometimes we don't capture moments because they're objectively special, but because the people in them matter. The camera becomes a tool to hold time, to ensure that the feelings felt in that moment don't simply fade away. Jimin himself is often described as a figure who brings calm to those around him. His energy is gentle, his way of speaking is soothing, and his presence often serves as a balancing act in the group dynamic. Seeing Jungkook choose to film Jimin in such a serene state reinforces a narrative fans have long felt, that Jungkook feels comfortable and safe in his presence in Jimin. Another thing that makes this moment special is its uncontrived context. In the entertainment industry, many interactions are carefully curated. But here, there's no sign of direction. There are no perfect camera angles, no dramatic lighting. It's precisely these imperfections that make it feel real. Fans feel like they're peeking into a slice of everyday life, not a scene prepared for a stage.
무튼 그래서 무대할 때도 무대할 때도 그래서 무대할 때도 그래서 무대할 때도 그래서 무대할 때도 그래서 무대할 때도
Over time, this moment has come to be seen as a small symbol of something bigger. It's not about who's being filmed, but about how caring is shown. Jungkook doesn't need to say he cares. His choice to pick up his phone and capture Jimin in silence has become a language unto itself. One that doesn't require complex translations. Fan discussions often return to one simple conclusion. Strong relationships are often quiet. They don't require grand statements or dramatic gestures. They exist in small habits, in the way one person is instinctively drawn to another's presence. In this context, Jungkook filming Jimin isn't a major event, but that's precisely its power. For many ARMY, this moment also served as a reminder of why they're so connected to BTS. It's not just the music or global achievements, but the palpable humanity. Jungkook and Jimin, despite being on the global stage, still showed small, deeply relatable sides. They reminded fans that behind the spotlight, there are still individual connections built on attention and presence. Ultimately, Jungkook's moment recording Jimin may have only lasted a few seconds, but its impact was felt far longer. It became a topic of conversation, a source of warmth, and a small example of how emotional intimacy doesn't always have to be explained. Sometimes, just pressing the record button and letting the moment live its life is enough. And perhaps that's why fans keep returning to moments like this. Because amidst the hustle and bustle of the entertainment world, there's beauty in the unplanned. There's sincerity in a gesture made unconsciously, intended for others to see. Jungkook recorded Jimin, and without realizing it, he also captured a feeling that millions of people could relate to later. If you enjoyed this quiet moment and the gentle perspective behind it, don't forget to like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes, it's the smallest details that say the most, and your insight is always part of the conversation here. Thank you for watching and spending this time with us. If you'd like to see more thoughtful observations and subtle moments like this, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, take care and keep noticing the little things.